because the weather's bad and it's raining off and on, I'm not going to use natural tinder. I've used a couple of fire lighters to get the fire going. I'm going to prepare food and cook on it. It's always a good idea to have a standby or two. It's usually a good idea to put some detergent on your pans before you put them on the fire. It makes cleaning off the soot a lot easier, although it does cost a little bit. And now I'll do the pan. It's the old biscuit tin with a couple of modifications, so we can actually use it more effectively as a cooking pot. What I'm going to prepare today is some vegetables, and I'm going to use tinned meat. I'm using vegetables because they will keep for a few days regardless of the weather. However, meat won't. So staying safe, I'm going to use tinned meat. So in a bug out situation, you need to have a variety of supplies ready and available. I'm going to start off with a couple of carrots, then some onions, then some potatoes, and when they're almost ready, I'll put the meat in. If you're bugging out, long-term survival or long-term camping, it's the little things that make life easy, such as a steel bowl for collecting your peeled vegetables in. You can do it in a mess tin, but life's so much easier with one or two little extra things. There's a difference between an escape and evasion and long-term bugging out, survival, camping. The hardwood's turning into a nice bed of hot coals, which is just keeping the pan simmering nicely, and the water's going to come up to the boil any second now. Ready for a nice cup of tea. Well, it's boiling nicely, so it shouldn't be too long before we're able to put the meat in and then eat. Flames are better for boiling than coals. Coals are better for roasting. It's a matter of experience and trying things out. Well, it doesn't get much better than this. Stew's just about ready. Got the radio on. It's a nice evening. We'll see how the rest of the time goes, but for the moment it's going pretty good. In a bug out situation, a wood fire may not be ideal, especially if smoke is a problem. Here the trees diffuse it a little bit, but it's still noticeable. It will give your position away. A big bright fire at night doesn't give off that much smoke, but what it does do is give off a load of light. So in situations where you don't want to be spotted but you need to cook, perhaps you should adopt the Dakota fire hole. It takes a bit of time to dig and prepare, especially if you've got lots of roots in the ground, but it is a safer option than having a bright "look, I'm here" fire. If we look across at the campsite, we can see the silver and the blue stands out, but not as much as the fire. All these things have got to be taken into consideration if you're wild camping, camping without permission, or you just don't want to be found. It's getting dark, it's still humid, the fire's keeping me warm. It's time to get ready for bed, so I'll see you in the morning. Well, I'm up, the sleeping bag's been turned inside out to air, the tent's open to let some air in to get rid of the condensation. The clothes that were damp I had with me in the sleeping bag last night, so they're now dry. I've got an extra layer on to keep that residual warmth going till I get everything running. First priority, get a fire lit. The first of the fire lighting methods I'm going to use today is rubber and a lighter. I read about this, it should work even if it isn't that environmentally friendly. It's in there, it's burning. We'll see if my fire lays any good. Well, the rubber seems to have worked and the fire seems to be taking off. So in a couple of minutes we'll get the grill on there and then get some hot water for coffee and for having a wash. Hygiene in the field is mega important. Although you can get washed in your mess tin or cooking pot, it's so much nicer to have something separate, and it's more hygienic. A little plastic bowl with some water from the fire allows you to have a wash and a shave. Hygiene in a bug out bushcraft survival situation is even more important than it is at home, because you're surrounded by so much dirt. So it is worth spending some time getting a wash, and if you can, go for a swim as well.